Welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Daytime spoilers for Friday, August 2 on Days of Our Lives indicate that Brady Black will be hungover after going out for drinks again with Fiona Cook, but they will both decide to keep their alcohol intake private. Nevertheless, Marlena Evans could start to worry about Brady during this Friday's DOL episode. Naturally, Marlena will also be concerned about John Black's travel to Greece, so she could tell Paul Narita everything. Now that Eric Brady has left town with Nicole Walker, Marlena is also missing him, so she will have excellent cause to confide in Paul and seek assistance. But if Marlena finds out about the terrible fate of Everett Lynch, better known as Robert Bobby Stain, she could also have an opportunity to respond to some terrible news. Upon learning of Everett's passing, Marlena will be devastated since he was her patient. Spoilers for other days indicate that Sarah Horton will be pleading with Xander Cook deeply. Because of Fiona's previous mental health issues, Sarah will encourage Xander to show his mother the same care. Sarah will know that Xander has a great desire to get back in touch with Fiona, so she will prod him to make amends. Even if it won't happen right away, Sarah is still holding out hope that Xander will be the one to initiate contact. Next, according to Days spoilers, Jack Deverex, Matthew Ashford, and Chad Demura will locate the precise location of the chamber seen in the video. With the help of the billboard outside the window, Jack and Chad were able to determine that it was in Poplar Bluff. Jack and Chad will ultimately locate the abandoned apartment building after they take off. According to teasers for Days inside the room where the clip was shot, Chad and Jack will uncover something amazing. Sadly, it doesn't seem like the mysterious lady who has emerged as a central character in the most recent Abigail Demura narrative will be it. Fans of DOL may anticipate a new rescue. Thus, it could include someone other than Abigail that Jack and Chad know. They would make intriguing prisoner options if Laura Horton, Jane Lynn Bauer, is alive in some way, or if the actual Gwen Ristek, Emily O'Brien, wasn't the one contacted by Leo Stark. In any case, spoilers for Days of Our Lives indicate that Jack and Chad are about to have a significant shock. So we'll be back with more predictions about the mayhem that ensues. Ava is discussing Gabi chick ideas with Gabi as the brand's namesake calls her out for being nervous on today's episode of Days of Our Lives. Ava asks about Rafe and fabricates a reason. Nothing has changed. At that moment, Sifin contacts Gabi and tells her he has to meet with her at the restaurant immediately. Ava swears to herself as a startled Gabi flees. Oh my God, why am I now feeling less well? Bobby tells Jetta in the police station that he is not a killer, even if he acknowledges his identity after receiving a few threats. However, I didn't stab Lee. I also didn't stab Rafe. But before he can say anything, he begins to feel queasy and says he feels ill. Although Jada doesn't believe it, he claims he has to go and stumbles out of the room. Jada receives a phone call from Stephanie alerting her to Leo's suspicion that Everett is still Bobby. Soon after her arrival, Jada tells her pal what Bobby has admitted to being. Well, Bobby, he continues to maintain that he is not a killer, but he is aware of who is. After taking in everything, Stephanie says she's going to Everett's immediately. Although Jada's hands are legally bound, hers aren't. Jada runs after her as she storms out. When Lim knocks to Everett's hotel room in search of his employer, Connie is happily framing him. Just as Leo departs, Connie freezes and knocks something over, but he takes the message and moves on. She places his medicines next to the bedside, writes a message on his laptop, and plants some gloves. She loses a keycard as she sneaks away. Soon later, Bobby shows there, relieved to see his room card on the ground and hardly able to stand.
What is wrong with me? Oh God.
Sighing and writhing, he finds his way to his bed in his room and notices the pill bottle beside it. He picks up where he left off reading it. Is it really that important? He realizes that Connie drugged him as he recalls her giving him coffee. He attempts to call for assistance but is unable to use the phone. Jack gets at the Spectator to see Chad congratulating him for returning his half of the paper. However, his purpose for being there is to discuss Abigail, not to work. The video cleaning is taking a long time and could come to an end. Chad claims that if it is, they have nothing. Chad offers to return his portion of the paper to Jack before he departs, but he won't accept it. Abigail was intended to have it, and everything should go to Thomas and Charlotte eventually, whether or not she is still living. Lena then makes an appearance to wax lyrical about all the lady whistleblower anecdotes he has. He mentions to Chad that Everett doesn't seem like himself and that he was very disappointed when he went to meet the chief editor. Everett only needs room to work on his mental health, Chad advises him. Leo, however, questions if Everett was given an early release. When they talk about Jack returning, Leo says he was also curious about Gwen's return. It dawns on him then that today was her and Dimitri's anniversary. The two of them never even got divorced because of the catastrophe. He ended his connection with Gwen without any reason, only for Dimitri to claim in a sloppy letter that he had met and fallen in love with a man while incarcerated. I'm not sure if that's even true in part. Lee believes Dimitri could have returned to Gwen in order to get his fortune back. Telling him it's a stretch, Chad soothes him, which would cause less distress. Another guy or Gwen. Leo fears that he may shatter Gwen's heart once again. He longs for both of them a great deal. Chad wishes Leo well and advises him to look ahead rather than back. You're allowed to feel alone. Sometimes it's just not possible to move on from the love of your life. Leo queries if Abigail's situation has changed. He wishes Chad would never have to go on. Kristen, who is back at Dimara, stops by Ava's office to ask where Gabi is. On her second day, she leaves at Stefan's request, which is unacceptable. Says Ava, she told her to go. If Stefan is going to inform Gabi about their affair, it's best to pull off the bandage. She should stop worrying, Kristen says. Additionally, refrain from bringing it up in public. Someone is going to hear. At that moment, Connie excitedly walks in and introduces herself as Gabi's new executive assistant. Connie wonders where her employer is as Ava meets her. Kristen sips her coffee and drinks it down. However, she quickly stops herself, complaining that it tastes terrible, and Connie remembers putting drugs in Bobby's coffee. She left everything out. Anyway, not in that one. She should bring coffee sweetener. Kristen advises. And you work for me, Connie replies, adding that she works for Gabi. Kristen screams. Chop chop. Gabi sends Ava a message letting her know that she's celebrating her anniversary by taking the rest of the day off work. Connie, wondering where her desk is, runs in with sweetness. How about you ask Gabi? While Connie takes a seat in Gabi's chair, Kristen slips away with Ava. It's not being used by anybody. It's okay if I do. In the empty restaurant, Stefan is pacing tensely, but Gabi enters and says he wants to spend time with his wife alone. He produces a bunch of roses and amps up the charm. Thanks for watching if you liked this video. So please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any update.